How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. We have not done a stimulus video in a while, and I want to cover some of what's happening with stimulus right now, talking about the unemployment benefits, talking about where Republicans have just changed their mind and they're kind of rallying support behind some of the new stimulus rounds, and just talking about the payroll tax cuts and what could happen to the stock market. And we're going to go through a whole host of different things. But before we do, if you don't mind hitting the like button, it really helps out the channel. Just spent some money on this new microphone, so any kind of help that you can give me so that this purchase was worth it really helps out. So I appreciate it. So the next round of stimulus is getting closer, and Republicans are giving more support every day. So what's happening is we're seeing these major rise in cases throughout the country as a whole, and then also there are some really big hot spots where we're just seeing a huge number of new cases spike up. And what's happening is we're reopening the economy, which we knew new cases were going to come up, but they're occurring at a much larger rate than I think a lot of people realized. So what's happening is the Republicans are giving more support for this next round of stimulus, because if you remember, they were kind of taking the wait and see approach, but now they're becoming more and more approving on the next round of stimulus. So there still are a couple sticking points that are causing this to have a little bit of friction still, but the fact that they are kind of on the same page as the Democrats now, that they really need to be able to send this next round of stimulus through, is huge. If you remember the last time that we were sending out checks, they were able to come to this agreement pretty quickly once they realized we don't have months to wait for the next round of stimulus. So they had done a couple rounds before that, but a lot of them weren't really affecting citizens at an individual level. So they made this new agreement, and they were able to give out $1,200 checks. Now, some people didn't get them for a while. Some people got them within just a couple weeks, but they did get them pretty quickly, relatively, especially for the government. So what we're looking at now is there are a couple sticking points, but there are some timelines coming up. So first of all, there is the unemployment boost that's running out on Friday. So if you remember, a lot of people that have been unemployed are now getting $600 a week, and this has affected a lot of people. This has helped just some of the people that had completely lost their job, but then also a lot of people that I know personally have been having a small cut to their hours. Say maybe they lost a day, so instead of working Monday through Friday, they're working Monday through Thursday, but they're getting this unemployment boost. For a lot of people, they are making a significant amount more, especially when you consider the people that maybe were making $50,000 a year, let's say, and now they're making $40,000 because they had one of their 5 days cut, but now they're getting $600 a week extra, which is a massive amount. That increases their income much farther than it was before. So we have that running out Friday, and for a lot of the people that have been cut and had their jobs cut, because we have a massive amount of unemployed people right now, that's going to be horrible. That's going to be really tough without that extra $600 a week. If both of the significant others have their jobs lost, they are losing out on $4,800 a month in this unemployment benefit. So hopefully they can come to an agreement here soon on what they're going to do next. Now, the Republicans typically don't want to further this. They don't want to, as they say, give out more money to people that aren't working. They don't want to encourage people to not work, but that's not really how it works either. I mean, they can't just decide not to work. They have to be unemployed, and their employer can't want them back. So it's really more on the employer than anything. And for now, it's going to run out here soon. So we will see some kind of agreement hopefully here soon on that, but right now the Republicans are pushing back on it. The other thing is there's some friction on the payroll tax cuts. So if you remember, the White House is very strong on this stance. They want to put in payroll tax cuts, which I think would create even more disparity between the income classes. I think that this is really one of the most disproportionate ways that we can give out stimulus, and there are several reasons for this. So first of all, it favors the wealthy people. So with the direct payments, everyone got $1,200 that was eligible for the payment. However, on this, if you don't know, the payroll tax cut cuts some of your FICA taxes. So the amount that you have to pay, about 7.65%, that goes towards some Social Security, some other benefits that you will receive later in life, that would be either cut completely or it would be cut down a little bit so you have to pay less. So that would help everyone that has jobs. It would cut down how much they have to pay in taxes. However, if you make $100,000 a year, since you are getting taxed on 7.65% if you're an employee of a business, you would save, essentially, if this went for a year, you'd save $7,650. However, if you make $50,000, that benefit is cut in half. So instead of saving that $7,600, you'd save half of that. Now that is a massive difference compared to what we had with the direct payments where everyone got the same amount, no matter how big or how small you were. So they might have income limits set on that, but still it would favor the people that are more wealthy that typically wouldn't need this money as much. I mean, sure, they might need it because they have larger payments on different items, but that's not really what this is for. This is for some of these lower income households. That's why they put a limit on it. Now, it also favors business owners. So if you're a W-2 employee, if you're an employee of some other business, you only have to pay 7.65% of your FICA taxes because your business pays the other 7.65%. You split it right down the middle. However, if you're a business owner, you have to pay the full amount yourself, which is 15.3%. So if you get those cut in half or completely wiped out, that's definitely going to help the business owner. So that is maybe why the Republicans are so strong on it. It will help business owners and wealthier people a lot more. That being said, too, if you think about the people that will use these programs later in life and the people that really need it, it's the lower class, right? So if they need Social Security, those people that don't have investment savings and haven't saved up over time, they're the ones that are going to need this money. However, they are going to be the ones that are kind of screwed out of it if we have to cut this funding in the short term. So you're taking and giving to the upper class more. You're giving them, let's say, like back to that $100,000 example, you're giving them $7,600, and then you're taking that away from the people that really need it later in life. So that is just something to consider if you're trying to formulate your opinion on this. This also doesn't help the unemployed workers. So I know that they're trying to get people to go back to work, and one way is to incentivize people by saying you won't have to pay as much in taxes. However, this doesn't help anyone that's unemployed, and a lot of the people that are unemployed won't get their jobs back anytime soon, honestly. So what Senator Kevin Cramer, one of the people that actually supports the payroll tax cut, is saying is, quote, "This doesn't require any action. It requires less. It requires doing less of something, not doing more of something." So what's that mean? Essentially, he's saying that it's easier to be able to set in place this payroll tax cut as opposed to send out another round of checks. So I don't really know if it's that much easier. I mean, they already have the system in place to send out the checks and to send out the direct deposits. A lot of people have set that up already. The White House, however, is still saying that they want this included, but I don't think that's going to be as hard a stance as it has been in the past, especially as the number of cases goes up. I think that people are going to put more pressure on the president to put this through. So I think there's some amount of flack that he won't take, or some amount of pressure that he will finally give into, where he won't push it as hard. And I could be completely wrong, but he is up for re-election, so I think he doesn't want to be the person that has stopped 330 million Americans from getting some kind of stimulus, whether it's the direct payments or whether it's some other type of assistance. I don't think he wants to be the one that is in the way of that. Now, this all being said, what does this do to the stock market? So I typically talk about the stock market a good amount on this channel, and I see this being an issue for the stock market if we don't get some of this taken care of soon. Now, if we don't get the unemployment benefits taken care of, I think it's going to be a massive drag, because a lot of people are going to have to take from some investments, right? So a lot of these people are getting $2,400 a month, but what are they going to have to do if they can't get their job back? They don't want to go take a minimum wage job at McDonald's somewhere. No offense to anyone that works at McDonald's, but they will need to pull from investments, right? So if they're before retirement or if they're after retirement, they're going to have to pull some of their investments out to pay for their daily expenses. And we're talking about a massive amount of Americans. Now, whether this causes the stock market to go down drastically or if it's more the fear of it, the fear of it happening, that is something that has yet to be determined, but I can see that as a real issue. The other thing I think is, if we don't have some of the stimulus going through, a lot of people are just going to get tighter with their money. They're going to be worried about not getting their jobs back. They're going to be worried that the government's not going to take care of them. It could cause some big dips in the market, and that's just something to be considerate of going forward. I am personally a long-term investor, so I'm okay if the market dips. I'm not trying to time the stock market. I'm trying to invest consistently throughout time and dollar cost average my way in. I do an investment series where I deposit $100 a week, and you can see the exact purchases that I make each week in different stocks that are going to pay me dividends and pay me income for the rest of my life. So if you want to follow that, you can definitely follow that. I have links down below too, so you can start up your accounts with the different investment accounts. So if you want to start up with WeBull, you can get 2 free stocks, one worth up to $1,400. Then if you want to start with M1 Finance, that's my favorite brokerage. You can use the link down below too. Let me know if you have any questions on that. But that is where we're sitting right now with the stimulus. This is as of Wednesday. All this was new Wednesday. So you're seeing it on Thursday. If you have any questions, let me know. But hopefully this is pretty straightforward. Hopefully you understand what's going on. I think the next couple days are going to be really big for stimulus talks. And if you do want me to continue to cover the stimulus, I haven't covered it recently, but let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.